Yes, you can. Good evening. I'd like to call to order the Norristown Municipality Council meeting of Tuesday, May 7th, 2024 to order. Can I have a moment of silence and pledge of allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Secretary, can I have roll call, please?
Rebecca Smith.
Here.
Rashad Bates. Tiffany Hendley. William McCoy.
Here.
Lauren Hughes.
Here.
Dustin Queenan.
Here.
Thomas LaPera.
Here. Can I have a motion to approve the previous minutes?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. The ayes have it. Executive session announcement. We had an executive session announcement on litigation, real estate. I'm going to skip over presentations real quick to go to appointments and administer the oath of office for Councilmember Lauren Hughes of the 4th District. We'll go back in order here and move on to presentations. The Elmwood Park Playground renovation.
This back a little bit.
You need the,
So I promise to keep this as short as possible. This has been something that has been heavy on my heart since I have started with this organization. And with starting with this organization, I'll just start off by stating that I have received several complaints from various constituents in reference to the Elmwood Park Playground. As a former certified playground safety inspector, one of the things that stood out to me when I arrived here in Norristown was when I got lost getting to the recreation center and I ended up at Elmwood Park. So noticing the playground equipment instantly, it was something that really stood out to me, and it sparked a lot of questions in my mind. So this was actually something that initially in September when I got here, it was literally one of the first things that's on my mind, that we need a new playground. But also hearing several complaints from various constituents, I kind of felt as if I was stuck, knowing that we have certain budgets and certain protocols to follow as a municipal government. So I am here today to present to you a very short and simple presentation in reference to the Elmwood Park renovations. So my overview, the agenda is the playground equipment and replacement, a letter to council, the blueprint design, and the total cost. So playground equipment and replacement, I'll go right into it. In reference to playground injury overview, in 2015, there were approximately 50.5 million children in the U.S. throughout the age of 12 that were injured on playgrounds. From 2009 through 2014, there were an average of 243,200 playground injuries that were serious enough to warrant treatment in an emergency room. During the same period, CPSC investigated 34 deaths that were associated with playground equipment. 19 resulted from strangulation, 8 resulted from head or neck impactment injuries. Of the 19 strangulations, there were deaths involved. 12 involved a second product, 5 were associated with slides, and 5 occurred on swings. The playground injury overview. 79% are caused by falls. 68% of those falls were due to the surfacing. 10% of those falls were due to other parts of the equipment, and 1% of falls are unknown. Falls historically continue to be the most common cause of playground injuries. The overview of the remaining 21% of injuries, 11% are caused by impact, 8% of the impact is with stationary equipment, 3% of that impact is with moving equipment, and 10% are due to miscellaneous causes, which include entrapment, entanglement, impact, protrusions, crash, or shear. Within the developmental ages of children, you have ages 2 through 12, which is the average of playground equipment. So the ages of children that are actually injured, 26% are ages 0 through 4, 51% are ages 5 through 9, 15% are ages 10 through 14, and 8% are ages 15 and older. The major cause of death and seriously debilitating injury is entanglement. The major cause of death and seriously debilitating injury, the number 2 cause, is falls. The number 3 cause is head and neck entrapment. Number 4 cause is impact. The factors that contribute to public playground injuries are poor or lack of maintenance. So now, going to my presentation. So my letter to council, I hope this message finds you well. I'm writing you to urgently bring your attention to the pressing need to allocate funds for the purchase of a new playground equipment at Elmwood Park. In recent months, we received numerous complaints from constituents regarding the conditions of the playground equipment at Elmwood Park. Upon further investigation and several playground inspections conducted by certified playground safety inspectors, it has become evident that the current equipment, which is over 40 years old, does not align with ASTM standards and has been deemed unsafe for usage. The safety of our community members, especially our children, is of paramount importance to us. It is imperative that we take immediate action to address this issue and ensure that Elmwood Park provides a safe and enjoyable recreational space for all. So here are a few key points highlighting the urgency of the situation outside of the ones that I've already highlighted. The safety concerns. The outdated equipment poses significant safety risks to children, including potential falls, entrapment hazards, and sharp edges. These risks have been confirmed by certified inspectors and cannot be overlooked. The legal liability, failure to address the safety concerns at Elmwood Park could expose the municipality to legal liabilities in the event of any accidents or injuries resulting from the use of the playground equipment. The community well-being. Elmwood Park serves as a vital community space where families gather for recreation and relaxation. By ensuring the safety and functionality of playground equipment, we contribute to the overall well-being and satisfaction of our residents. Given the gravity of the situation, I urge you to consider reallocating funds to prioritize the purchase of new playground equipment for Elmwood Park. Investing in modern ASTM-compliant equipment will not only address the safety concerns, but also enhance the overall experience for park visitors. Yes. You can go to renderings first. So these are the renderings that have been established by Lions Recreation for the Elmwood Park design. This particular design, it includes, the entire design is ADA compliant and it fits ages 5 through 12. With the current design that we have over at Elmwood Park, if you notice, the playground is separated into 3 different areas. Those 3 different areas that the playground is currently separated into is broken down into different age groups. With this particular structure, it will allow all participants to engage in safe play, and again, it remains ADA compliant. It also fits within the current area that we have our existing playground structures. This is pretty much a 3D model of what it looks like. They have been diligently working on this model. I believe it's a very nice model. I personally want to slide down the slide myself. I think it's really nice. As you can see, there is an ADA compliant swing for our participants that may be in wheelchairs where they're able to lift themselves up and they're also able to swing on the swings. We also have the swing set for the younger age groups as well. And there are also sensory items that are included within this particular playground structure for participants that may have autism. This is a climbing area for children all ages again. Especially with the little kids, they always have the tendency that they want to play on structures that are a little bit bigger than them. So this allows them to play with their older brothers and older sisters, and also it eliminates that fall impact as well due to the height. So with fall impacts, it goes based upon the height of the surface down to the ground, and you always want to measure that accordingly so that you can ensure that the safety risk and the risk of fall, because children have the tendency not just to fall, but they are adventurous. And this is where you get the chance to explore. This is where we actually see if we can be gladiators or anything else. We really take all of these challenges at a young age, and it is when we are in the playgrounds. This is a closer model of the opposite side. So we can also see that we have the baby girl over here where she's on the little kid slide, but she can also explore the option of going over to the other side in case she wants to elevate her sliding activities. So the total cost of the project is $405,011. With additional site amenities, I just wanted to incorporate this as well. Additional site amenities would include benches for the playground. So just to revamp the whole area altogether, that additional cost is $26,503. However, my resolution that I put together today is strictly for the playground. Again, it's of high importance to the Department of Recreation as well as the constituents of the Norristown community that this Elmwood Park playground is actually revamped. And again, one of the things that stood out, several things that stood out, was just the level of emails that I've received in reference to how old the playground equipment was. I had one lady that actually reached out to me directly, and she said that she is now raising great-grandchildren. And from her raising her children to her grandchildren and now her great-grandchildren, the same exact playground equipment has been in place since then. And I know driving around, going through different cities, different states, and just driving around the Norristown area, you can see that we have a lot of new playgrounds, but this particular playground is the oldest out of all of the playgrounds. And also noticing the equipment, we all grew up on metal sliding boards that is not ASTM standard. I know that we can all remember in the summertime sliding down those slides and how often it burnt your skin, and that is not safe. It's really not safe. And just in general, just looking at all of the metal equipment, the dangers of that particular equipment, we are running a serious risk as a municipality. So this is my presentation. And
Any questions?
I just have a quick question. How long is playground equipment usually like viable before it needs to be replaced? Like just.
So with the new, so ASTM standards, they have actually changed throughout the years. So with the new equipment and all of the new structures for safety protocols that have been put in measure, they last up until 70 years. So a lot of things have changed with the playgrounds. Also, I know that we notice now they have a lot of nets and things. If you guys can remember Sesame Place, those nets that have been there, they've been there since the beginning of the time. They're still there right now, and I have a baby niece that I take every year. I remember getting stuck in those nets, but those nets, you can't cut them, you can't set them on fire or anything. So that's how safe the equipment is, how they made the changes today.
I don't have a question, just a comment. I really, really appreciate you bringing this to us. I like the thoughtfulness, including adaptive swings and sensory experiences for children who might have autism. But more than anything, this is the park that I played at when I was a child. And we've done a lot of upgrading equipment at other parks in the last 5 years, and I'm just very excited to see this one come. So thank you.
Thank you.
I saw on the diagram, it was flat. Are we gonna try to manipulate so it can kind of be flat, or it be on a, because I know that's a little slanted area over there.
So we have looked at two different areas of Elmwood Park. One of the areas is where the existing structure is, and if you are, I know you're familiar, but that area where the old pavilion used to stand. So we also looked at that area as well because it's big enough to fit this entire structure into it. And also when considering the different surfacing for playground equipment to stay in budget, we went with the mulch instead of the rubber mats because we will be having this conversation about 10 years from now in reference to rubber surfacing. If you think about any playground that you saw that has swings that are missing, just go back and revisit those playgrounds and I can explain to you exactly why those swing sets are missing. And I promise you it's all due to the rubber surfacing. If you ever notice a hole in rubber surfacing and there's no swings there, it's not safe. So that's the reason that the swings are removed.
One last question, just out of curiosity, because, you know, we got adults here. Can adults swing on these swings?
Yes, they can. And see,
Okay.
and I'll be brutally honest with you. I have about 10 different invoices and 20 different presentations in reference to this exact same project, but sticking within budget, I literally wanted to, a goal of the department, not just me, but a goal of the department and also literally considering the entire community. You want it to be inclusive to everyone.
Right.
So the original plan was to incorporate fitness equipment for the adults, So we wanted to have a separate side where we have the adults where they have their workout equipment and you can watch your kids play on the playground and everybody gets a chance to have their activities all at the same time. So that was literally the original idea, but staying within budget and being realistic, this is the reason that I have to focus on the babies only.
Okay, so be careful if you're an adult, okay.
No American Ninja Warrior.
Yeah, there you go. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Any other questions, comments? Thank you very much.
Thank
We'll move on to announcements. Mr. Vice President. There's a resolution. We'll follow, just follow it on the list.
Okay. If anybody needs translation, we have Jessie in the back. Please go see her. Translate from English to Spanish. Also, Norristown Garden Contest. If you go in a corner, you can pick up one of these sheets right here. Sponsored by the Norristown Garden Club, open to the residents within the municipality of Norristown. They have the rules and everything in there, so if you want to join this contest, it's on the back table there. And that's it.
Any other announcements? Seeing none, we'll move on to public comment. Madam Secretary.
Yes, Jane Nicole.
Good evening, council. I don't know where Jim Waters is. Freaking out. I hope he's okay, but it's really weird. Anyway, a couple things from me, 3 separate items. So first of all, I was in touch with Lisa Babiak about, like, do we have an animal control officer? Did we ever, a department or not? And it seems like it's a no. And I would like some follow-up from y'all as far as like, okay, like why not? Or like, could we allocate resources to hire somebody like that? For the purpose of, if you go on the forums and stuff, there's a lot of, stray dogs and people needing to get their dogs back. I'm sure the police, address it a lot. We have, stray cat, feral cat issues that we need to address and that a lot of nonprofits are addressing, but it's, a comprehensive approach would be better. And also like low-cost spay-neuter problems to, get mobile clinics or whatever, or vouchers so that folks can get their pets fixed to keep the populations down. So that's one thing, and I'd love an email or just like any information that about the history of our municipality with an animal control officer. The other thing, I was wondering about the shops on Markley Street, given the new bridge construction, and I feel so bad for them. They've already gone through, Markley was such a mess for so long with construction, and I'm wondering if they're getting any kind of tax break or anything, because, I mean, that's got to be really rough. So separate third thing, we just had last week, it hit 90 in early May, as we all know, and you'll hear on NPR and stuff in the summer, like, Philadelphia's opened up a code red shelter, cooling shelters throughout the city. So I wondered if we do, or if we could, open up code red shelters, not necessarily overnight, but just, daytime places for folks to come when, say an elderly person's air conditioner dies, or they don't have one to begin with, that they can come and, be close to medical help and can keep an eye on them. So, I thought maybe this building would be perfect because the police are here anyway, that if people knew, like, okay, you can come here and the AC will be on during those times when it's very high heat waves and such. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm here to address a problem I'm experiencing with the stormwater billing that we have for Norristown that was introduced to us last year, and I did put an appeal in. There's different tier levels, and I was placed in a tier 3, which I appealed. A lot of my neighbors have patios and sheds and things of that nature. They were put in a lower tier 2, and I don't have a patio. I have pictures. So my appeal was denied, and I did meet with Thomas of the Stormwater Authority, and he said I would have to get somebody to come out and do measurements to remeasure. They said they flew a drone over our houses and took the measurements. I don't know how they came up with a tier 3 for my property. It's just a single twin rancher attached to another person who there's other people around me that have patios, front or back. I have a house on the block that's a 2-story house, a 2-story twin, that has a patio out front or an enclosed porch, a deck out back, and a shed. They're in a tier 3, I'm in the same category as them. I don't know how that happens, but that's what I was appealing. and it was denied. I don't know, Thomas told me that I could take measurements of my house and the outside of it to prove them wrong. I don't know how, I'm not an engineer, so I don't know that particular job and how to go about it. I did reach out to Paul, who is the person that does assessment appeals, and he did come out and measure my house for me, gratis, and he measured the building as, it's in the property records as 1,000 square feet, which is all our properties on 1800 block of Locust Street. He measured 1,020. The paperwork that I was given when I met with Thomas, it gives my building measurement a square footage of 1144. Paul came up with a measurement of 1120. I don't have an engineer that I can hire to assess the rest of it and to re-measure all the outside of my perimeter of my property, but I was given the last resort as to either pay another $25 to reappeal it, which was not an option for me, hire an engineer to come out and do all the measurements again. If I could hire an engineer to do that and pay an engineer, I wouldn't be fighting the stormwater bill for the tier to be changed. The other option was to attend one of these meetings. So at this point, here I am pleading my case and asking if there's someone. I did go to Greg Scott's office seeking help because I don't know what else to do to have this turned over. The cutoff for Tier 2 is 1,999 square footage, and I'm billed at 2,000 square footage for Tier.
Leave your information with the staff. We'll have Stormwater Authority look into the matter. Thank you.
Thank you.
That is all. Any other public comments? Seeing none. Moving on to Parks and Rec. Resolution 24-55, request for council to authorize the use of ARPA funds in the amount of $405,011 for Elmwood Park Playground renovations. We just saw the presentation, so I'm not going to drag you back up here to do anything else unless council has any other questions or comments towards this. Seeing none, do I have a motion to approve Resolution 24-55?
So moved.
Second.
Madam Secretary.
Rebecca Smith.
Aye.
Rashad Bates. William McCoy. Lauren Hughes. Dustin Queenan.
Aye.
Thomas LaPera.
Aye, the ayes have it. Resolution passes. Thank you. Moving on to Buildings and Code Compliance, Historic or Architectural Review Board of April 2024.
That the Norristown HARB receives applications on a monthly basis for exterior repairs, alterations, demolitions, and renovations for properties located in Norristown's historic districts. Those applications are reviewed by the HARB members to confirm that the repair, alteration, demo, and renovation work is in compliance with our municipal ordinance. HARB did meet and reviewed the application and has approved, as mentioned on the COA for 540 Cone Street. We only had one application, and the request before council is to approve the COA as approved by HARB.
Council, any questions? Seeing none, do I have a motion to approve the HARB Board of April 2024?
So moved.
Madam Secretary.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, the ayes have it. HARB passes. Moving on, UCC Accessibility Advisory Board variance request by Elmwood Park Zoo.
Thank you, Council President. Council, this is just a simple update to Municipal Council regarding the accessibility variance that was filed by the Elmwood Park Zoo with the Pennsylvania Department of Labor and Industry. Elmwood Park Zoo needed relief from the state building code requirements related to accessibility matters for the work that's currently ongoing at 1661 Harding Avenue. They had applied for a variance with LNI, and a hearing was scheduled, and the municipality did attend the hearing. And our purpose of attending the hearing was not to intervene in the matter. And the reason why we did not intervene in the matter was because that the variance request did not negatively affect the health, safety, and welfare, and the area in question is an employee-only access area. So this is just an update to council that the Elmwood Park Zoo applied, and they had the hearing, and their variance was granted by the state. That's all.
Council, any questions? Seeing none, do I have a motion to approve?
Oh, this is
I don't
just a
have,
simple
just,
update.
just
No-
simple
no-
update?
No motion
Okay.
needed.
Moving on then to a proclamation recognizing May 2024 as Building Safety Month.
Thank you, Council President. Council, this is our 6th annual celebration of Building Safety Month. As you are all aware, for the last 44 years, the International Code Council and its 64,000 members, including the municipality of Norristown, and a diverse partnership of professionals from the building, construction, design, and safety community come together to celebrate Building Safety Month. Building Safety Month provides education for the public about solutions to improve the safety, sustainability, and resiliency of buildings, infrastructure, and communities. Properly administered and up-to-date safety codes reduce loss of life and property damage. Contemporary planning, building materials, design, and construction can make our communities more resilient in the aftermath of disasters, fires, and other events. Building Safety Month unites industries, associations, academia, and government under a common goal to protect the public by creating a safe and resilient built environment. As we are all aware, communities need building codes to protect their residents from everyday disasters like fires, weather, and related events such as floods, structural collapse, that follows deterioration over time for failure to maintain buildings. Model building and housing codes adopted and enforced by well-trained professional code officials are society's best way of protecting homes, offices, schools, manufacturing facilities, stores, and places of entertainment. Building Safety Month is an international celebration of all aspects related to building safety that helps families, employers, and leaders understand and appreciate the best practices that keep places where we live, work, and play safe. And lastly, for the last 44 years, we have celebrated advances in construction technology, safe building, sustainable building, affordable and resilient buildings and homes. The ongoing support of Building Safety Month and the important role code officials play in public safety in the built environment has come from U.S. presidents, governors, county executives, mayors, councils, and other government and construction industry officials. And it is requested, as we have done previously, if council can recognize in Norristown May 2024 as Building Safety Month.
Council, any questions? Seeing none, I have a motion to issue a proclamation recognizing the importance of Building Safety Month, May 2024.
So moved.
Second.
Madam Secretary.
Rebecca Smith.
Aye.
Rashad Bates. William McCoy. Lauren Hughes. Dustin Queenan.
Aye.
Thomas LaPera.
Aye. Motion passes. Proclamation is recognized. Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on to fire. Resolution 24-53, requesting municipal council approval for the purchase of a tailored size 12 firefighting prop from Tailored System LLC for the cost of $59,000.
Good evening, Mr. President, Council.
Chief.
Come before you, see we have a resolution. It's for a training prop, and the best way to train our firefighters is hands-on training. And we used to have a great building, Building 6 at the State Hospital, which is no longer there. It was demolished, so Plan B is to kind of come up with, this is a nice little small prop. It'll be in the back of one of the stations. Our guys can do hands-on training with ventilation, forcible entry, and it's kind of like the sky's the limit. About $58,000 of this is covered in grants and in donations. So we're going to have a little bit that'll come out of our training budget.
Council, any questions?
Is it like a,
It's a Connex container
okay,
that they actually take. It's a small one. It's only 12 feet.
right.
And they just take it and modify it, put a bunch of cool things on it so our guys can break through walls and
Oh, it's
cut
not
holes
like the
in
ones we
roofs.
crawled through when we were kids?
Bail out, right, bail off the second level, and it's pretty neat. It's a neat little device.
Playground we don't want work for you.
I want to see video, you guys show me. Okay, I appreciate it.
Council, any other questions? Seeing none, do I have a motion to approve Resolution 24-53?
So move.
Second.
Madam Secretary.
Rebecca Smith.
Aye.
Rashad Bates. William McCoy. Lauren Hughes. Dustin Queenan.
Aye.
Thomas LaPara.
Aye, the ayes have it. Resolution passes. Moving on to Resolution 24-54, request Municipal Council approve authorizing the sale of surplus communications and firefighting equipment.
Thank you. These are a bunch of different little groups of equipment that'll be sold. Some of it's old communication gear, truly the stuff we don't use, it's been replaced. The other stuff is firefighting equipment that was on the apparatus that we just got rid of. So it's all surplus for us, and I'd like to get rid of it.
Council, any questions? Seeing none, do I have a motion to approve Resolution 24-54?
Second.
Madam Secretary.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, the ayes have it. Resolution passes. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Moving on to the administration, Resolution 24-52, request for council to approve payment of $100,000 to Gordon H. Baver Construction for the closeout of labor costs related to Municipal Hall renovation project. Chief.
I think you covered it all, Mr. President. Council has any other questions?
Council, any questions? Seeing none, do I have a motion to approve Resolution 24-52?
Second.
Madam Secretary.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, the ayes have it. Resolution passes. Moving on to request for council to approve a one-year health insurance plan renewal with the Delaware Valley Health Trust.
Mr. President, as you know, the Delaware Valley Health Trust came in and presented to Municipal Council and gave you some ideas. This would just renew our employee health benefits for an additional year.
Council, any questions? Seeing none, do I have a motion to approve one-year health insurance plan renewal with the Delaware Valley Health Trust?
So moved.
Madam Secretary.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, the ayes have it. Request passes. Moving on for a request for council to deny all proposals received for the towing request for proposals and authorize the re-advertising of the towing request for proposals.
Okay. Solicitor will.
Sure. As you know, you have before you an ability to deny all the proposals for towing requests. After review by our professional staff, they were not compliant, and we would like to go out to bid again.
Council, any questions? Seeing none, do I have a motion to approve council to deny all proposals for the towing contract? And go out for rebid. Madam Secretary.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, the ayes have it. Request passes. Moving on to police, Resolution 24-39, motion to approve grant application for recruitment incentives for law enforcement.
Good morning, Mr. I said good morning. Good evening. Vice President, council members, Municipal Administrator, Solicitor. How's everybody doing? So come on up here, Lieutenant Dumas, with me. We're actually asking for Resolution 2439 to be approved due to the fact that the police department is actually facing critical and crucial personnel shortages. The money that we're asking to have here with this resolution would actually provide promotional materials, help us to streamline our processes. And what's most important, I know they have all this information here about recruitment and job fairs and community fairs and business fairs and helping to recruit diversified applicant pools. But the most important thing is being able to have those materials that are needed for helping with mock sessions. Quite oftentimes, we find that individuals are not making the cut, and you ask yourself, why are they not making the cut? Sometimes people are different learners. Some people are visual learners. Some people need to know steps A through Z before they can actually make the entire process. So, talk about additional things that we want this approval for.
The grant application is a two-year funding application for recruitment incentives. And we're high need of officers right now, as most of the country is, and we want to submit this application as soon as possible. So we ask for your approval.
Council, any questions?
What type of funding are we looking at? What type of money?
$20,000 over 2 years.
Sorry, I missed it. Thank you.
Any other questions? Seeing none, do I have a motion to pass Resolution 24-39?
So move.
Madam Secretary.
Aye.
Bates. William McCoy. Lauren Hughes. Dustin Queenan.
Aye.
Thomas LaPera.
Aye, the ayes have it, resolution passes. Moving on to Resolution 24-50, a motion to approve handicap parking signage at 502 East Elm Street.
Council, the Norristown Police Department received application at 502 East Elm Street. An investigation was conducted, and the location is approved was approved by the Police Department for handicap parking.
Council, any questions? Seeing none, do I have a motion to approve Resolution 24-50?
So moved.
Second.
Madam Secretary.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Resolution passes. Moving on to Resolution 24-51, motion to approve $10,000 gift from Hounds Heroes for the purchase of a police canine.
Yes, we are asking for this approval to actually, we have one canine officer and one canine dog now. We need a second canine officer and canine dog. And this particular dog and a canine officer would help with community policing, detection of drugs and guns, as well as building trust and transparency with the community and community policing. Also, the canines actually help us assist with our clearance rates, which we're actually doing quite well. And they also help officers with searches and patrols and protecting police personnel in the performance of their duties.
Thank you. Council, any questions? Does the dog have a name?
Zone.
Zone?
Zone.
Al's, is it Al's dog? Any other questions? Seeing none, do I have a motion to approve Resolution 24-51?
So moved.
Second.
Madam Secretary.
Rebecca Smith.
Aye.
Rashad Bates. William McCoy. Lauren Hughes. Dustin Queenan.
Aye.
Thomas LaPera.
Aye, the ayes have it. Resolution passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on to departmental reports. Start with planning.
Good evening.
Brianna, do you have something? Do you have a report too? Or no? Huh?
Thank
Don't worry
you.
about it. You already did.
Good evening, council members. I know on a quarterly basis, I try to bring you the status of the projects that are going on, particularly major projects that are part of the economic development portfolio, if you will. So I'm going to go really quickly. We'll not be here too long, so that at least you have some idea of where they are. The first one is the Norristown State Hospital. Thank you, Kevin. The Norristown State Hospital, as you're well aware, the developer was here to receive the proposal through the urban redevelopment law, which he did in the last meeting. And that's actually quite great progress, actually, given usually this type of process take a little while. So he's moving at a good pace. So that has been done. The next is the grant at Maine and DeKalb. As you're aware, they had asked for an extension, but we've been having discussions with them, and they're just about to submit the land development application. At the very latest, it should be this or next week, so you'll see movement on that project as well. Following that, we have our housing rehabilitation program. Council, we did receive an additional $500,000 in home funds from the state. Right now, we have 2 houses that have been completed, 3 are underway. The $500,000 that we've received will be able to help quite a number of homeowners. Hopefully, we'll get to about 10 homeowners as we go along. 14 West Main Street, where council generously gave $160,000 to acquire the property so that the owner was able to establish a restaurant. Things are moving the right track, and we're hoping that it will be completed in the summer. They have pulled their their building permits, and they've started selecting the flooring, the fixtures, and those type of issues. Elmwood Park Zoo, I heard there were a couple of articles on that. They're moving along very well. I do know that they've had several escrow releases, and that is a good thing. When you release escrow, means there's progress in the work that you're doing, and the engineer has approved those releases. Benjamin Court, that's the 200, or now it's known as, it's been known in different names, but also known as Honey Lane. Right now, we have all the 12 units have been sold of the 5 buildings, and that is a total of 30 dwellings that actually are all up from the ground right now. Excellent pace, and they've sold very well. As you know, they're selling in the low 400,000. Stinson Hall on Markley, 1651 Markley Street. The developer is progressing well. He's now working on his condominium documents, but right now the condominiums are for sale as we speak. So I will be reporting probably in the next 3 months or so how far he's gone and how many condominiums he's sold. Current Terrace, we spoke to the developer and they told us that the rates are a little high at this point, the interest rates. They're waiting for them to come down, and then they'll renew their proposal of adding to their lot, which is 36 units more to their development. Montgomery Justice Center, all I can report to you this evening is that there have been multiple inspections, both building and electrical, that have been completed by the Building and Code Enforcement, and thank you for giving us that information. We have provided some pictures so that you can see the progress, but I'm sure you won't miss it because as you drive downtown, you're seeing what's going on. The skidding of the building has already started, or the out parts of it. Arbor Place, which is the Kennedy Kendrick High School redevelopment. All the site work has been completed, escrows have been released. The building and demolition permits, we're being told are going to be submitted in the near future. They were supposed to have been submitted by April. I do not know what the delays are, but we're expecting to hear the request pretty soon. 600 East 49th Street, that's the townhome development. We did speak to the developer, and he's still pursuing this development. He just has had to, I guess, change some of his professionals, but he is addressing our engineer's comments. But that's still a go, is what I'm trying to say. Arch Street Greenway. We're going to make a big announcement on this. Just want to let you know that we did receive $1.5 million in the transportation alternate set-aside funding. For those council members who've been on council and have spoken about Arch Street Greenway, and I remember I had a very good question from one of the councilwomen who asked me, how many phases and how long would this ever take? Well, the good news is that this 1.5 is going to help move this project much faster than we had anticipated. So this is a good thing. This is the greenway that connects the trails, that's the Schuylkill Trail, and it's going to take you through Norristown, through Arch Street, and eventually, that's what we're trying to do, is connect to the Liberty Trail in the Farm Park. So we'll be able to have all that traffic that goes up and down on Schuylkill Trail, as well as the Chester Valley Trail, coming to Norristown. Right now, they're already doing it, actually. The little bit that we did in the beginning, just connect from Arch Street into Norristown, is already working. There's quite a bit of traffic as far as cycling coming into Norristown, and that's the whole point. So this is a huge boost, and clearly the regional trail funders have recognized what we're doing, and they agree with it, and they're going to help us connect to the Liberty Trail. So that's an exciting thing. The blight remediation. So we blighted properties, and we had these great ideas. We're going to turn some of these properties into stormwater facilities. Well, the blighting of these properties actually triggered the properties to actually the property owners to start improving the properties, which is a good thing. So we might not have achieved the stormwater issue, but we've achieved them in addressing an issue that they had not addressed for a very long time. So that, it worked in its own way, but we're still pursuing one property to do the stormwater, and we'll probably be looking at another one to continue with that. I believe the last project is the Trail Junction. Council will recall the county was here, they presented that they were thinking of having an improvement at the Trail Junction at Lafayette and DeKalb, and that will be an attraction and a gateway, not only for the users of the trail, but also the art district that goes along DeKalb Street. They have gone out in the community to ask the community what they want, and they're hoping to start construction in 2025. There are many other projects that I have not mentioned this evening, but I will include them as we receive updated information so that you're aware of where we are. But as usual, you're welcome to send me any requests if you have a particular project that you didn't hear about, and I'll be able to share with you where we are with those projects if I didn't cover it tonight. Okay? Any questions?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Oh.
You said you were good? Sure.
Back again, guys. Hi. Just a brief update on recreation. Of course, we are in our summer camp season. We're at the end of our spring season, also going into our summer camp season. With our spring season, we currently have basketball. We have another round 2 of spring session of pickleball that starts not tomorrow. It actually starts next Tuesday. So that spring session of pickleball will start next Tuesday, and it will go throughout June. Our basketball league is actually kicking off right now. The first basketball games happen today. We have 86 participants that are registered for our spring basketball league, ages 8 through 14. We have a biddy ball clinic that happens on Mondays, 14 to 16. Basketball clinics happens on Mondays as well. And our games are on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and all games are held at Eisenhower Middle School. We also currently have 64 registered participants for our summer camp. Our max cutoff is at 80 participants. Our original cutoff was at 60, but we went over that number already, so I got my fingers crossed that I won't have to call my good friends over in finance and tell them that we went over our number again. So we also have our girls basketball program that has also kicked off as well. And that basketball program happens at the Recreation Center every single Wednesday from 6:30 to 8:30. We have a good amount of middle school and high school girls that are joining us. In the summer, we are exploring the option of incorporating a yoga program for seniors. That yoga program will incorporate chair yoga, and that program will happen on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We have also went into a partnership with the Carver Center, and we are also looking forward to future partnerships with the Carver Center. So the Carver Center is going to offer our participants swimming instruction in the summer. So we have swimming activities that will occur over at the Carver Center every Tuesday and Thursday, and we are in talks right now of starting up an acting workshop that will occur over at the Carver Center. Their facility is better suited for an acting workshop instead of our facility.